This is Marquivas Furious Nias, and you're listening to Deeper Than Music Radio.
Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music.
What up, what up, what up? This is Marquivas Furious Nias here on Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song, there's an even greater story on Deeper Than Music Radio. So this is take 2 of the interview. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're gonna make it through here. So I'd like to say good afternoon to everybody here on internet land and podcast land. It's Saturday, a lovely, beautiful day here in the DFW area. Today we have a special treat, indie country artist with a little bit of glam. She comes by way of Austin, Texas, and her latest project is called Big Girl Pants. Ladies and gentlemen, we have special guest Ella Reid here on Deeper Than Music Radio. Ella, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for your patience. Right now, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll make it through.
Yeah, no worries.
So we have Ella Reid, who's indie country with a little bit of glam, and as I was saying earlier, I love it when I get messages from musicians all the time. When I got Ella Reid's email, I'm a person that's all about presentation. I saw everything, I did some research, and I really, really liked what I saw, heard the music, and I was like, wow. And then the one thing that stood out, and I was like, I gotta ask her about the title, is the title of your album or your project is called Big Girl Pants. Can you give us a little background on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I decided to call it Big Girl Pants because it's number one. It's a line out of this song, "Suck It Up, Buttercup." So it goes, "I pull your big girl pants on because you got big dreams coming for you," and that for me is I learned the "Suck It Up, Buttercup." It's a Southern thing. Women say it all the time. Like, "Suck it up, Buttercup" basically means like, all right, get off that pity pot and get to work. And a girlfriend told me that one day when I was, I was on my pity pot. I was complaining about my beautiful life, and I deserved it. She said like, you need to just suck it up and get to work. And that, of course, that spawned my single "Suck It Up, Buttercup" too. So I went right off and wrote that song. And also last spring, I started to draw and paint my own pants, and those also became part of my pull up your big girl pants, or put on your big girl pants, because sometimes even in the best of life, sometimes we just want to get tired and want to watch Netflix, and so people go like, "Suck it up, Buttercup," or "Pull your big girl pants on, Ella." So all my songs are actually coming back to me.
No, it's a good saying.
In a good way and bad way. I'm like, what? Say that? Yes, you did.
But that's a good thing, like you said, because I mean, you spoke earlier and was like, sometimes I don't. You said sometimes you enjoy performing, but you have those moves. Like I was saying last week, or hell, for the last month, we've been having crazy rain here in the state of Texas, and it's like you get up in the morning and go to work, you're like, maybe I'll just stay in bed for a little bit.
Sometimes I don't want to go, even though all this. Even with the best jobs, you go like, I'd rather watch Netflix.
Yeah, and there's those days, but we get up and we forge ahead. So when did you know that you wanted to be a musician? When was that moment for you?
I think I've always been involved in music, and I've always enjoyed performing. But it was when I was about 18, and I started really listening to like the Indigo Girls, and the Galileo, that album came out, and I was playing it with my friend and singing the harmonies, which I'm a big fan of doing harmonies. I listened to that and I said, you know what, I could do that. I could really do that as a life. And but it wasn't. But it was 10, 15 years down the road-ish. I don't want to age myself. Until I actually decided that I would do more. I went and got a degree in screenwriting, and I went and got another degree in graphic design. And I did the education route, and ended up being a creative director in San Francisco for a company, which was great. I mean, I don't have to hire out graphic designers. I do all my own web work, and that saves me money. And I love it. I really enjoy my degrees, and I consider that my graphic design degree what ties the room together. So I have always been liked a lot of different mediums and art, and that one in particular really allows me to just bring it all together. So
well, that's excellent, because your website stands out. Like,
thank you.
I will say, out of all the people that I've been hit up by, your website it speaks to your music and who you are. Like you explained, the jeans, colorful, and and I tell people it's all about, and you can agree with me on this, it's all about presentation.
It is.
And it's
people do judge by the cover. Don't
yes,
let anybody tell you they don't.
Yes, it is all about presentation. And like you said, you did this later on in life, and I spoke about how one of the people I love, because I love songwriting, I love a good songwriter, is Gordon Sumner, aka Sting. He went the safe route. He was an English teacher, and later on in life, he was like, I believe your calling is always going to call you. Steve Harvey said once, if it keeps you up at night and it's always in the back of your mind, it's your calling, and you can never ignore that. So when he had a nice, safe, comfortable government job being a teacher, he decided, you know what, I'm going to pursue this music thing. And he went on, like you, to become a musician full time. And I guess what was that spark? What was that like? You know what? I'm comfortable here. I've had my degrees, but when was that moment for you? Like, I gotta pursue this.
Well, I think I think it was like a year into my San Francisco job. Like, it was a good job, and I was happy and I was making good money, but I wasn't happy. Like, I wasn't like, yes, like this is what I've always wanted to do. I kept going like, there's got to be more. And I'd write music before and after work. And so I'd get up extra early and I'd be playing before I caught the metro. And I was like, what are you doing? But I mean, it's a tricky thing too, because the music scene wasn't in San Francisco. So it took my husband getting relocated to San Francisco, and then me getting to take a couple months off, going like, wow, I'm really burnt out. I don't want to ever have to go back to a job and work for somebody else again. So I learned how to hustle, and I learned how to not hustle in the sense of the malicious sense of it, but I learned how to get gigs. I learned how to advocate for myself, and I learned how to do this thing called being a full-time musician. And now it's really cool. I mean, Austin is a lovely place to do that, because there's so many different avenues, and people pay in Austin, unlike some cities. And there's a really cool community. So all my friends are really full-time musicians, and we live and we pay all of our bills, and it's pretty cool. And I don't have to do that anymore. And I've in the process of learned how to become a better business person and advocate for myself more, and learning to ask for what I need, and learning how this business thing works. And now I'm going into hired somebody to pitch my music to film and television, and like piece by piece, I'm putting together this life that I've always wanted. And it's taken a little bit longer than I have, but I wouldn't change it, and I won't go back. And
it's beautiful that it's like it's a music business, and I think like with you having a job and going to school and getting those degrees, it has taught you. Like, you see the value in the business part. You know about the imagery and what sells. And then you spoke about
and I wouldn't
film.
give back my education ever.
Yeah.
And just FYI, some people have dropped out of school to pursue music, but I say get your degree. As we talked about earlier, education is the only thing, well, maybe not the only thing, but it's one and very important thing that nobody can take away from you.
Yep.
Education is muy importante.
And one thing that I tell people, and I've learned this just throughout life, I'm a lover of music and aviation, so I'm a pig in heaven.
You fly.
So ignorance is costly. I tell people that ignorance is, and the beautiful thing about this digital age, is like, I used to work for a radio station, and it was like, I can do my own thing, I can research and figure out how to do this. and rather than have to depend on other people.
Right?
But that's beautiful that
It is.
you speak of the embodiment for do for self. A lot of people, and I hate the fact that sometimes people like, oh, indie, and it's like, no. In this day and age, this digital age, you can put out an album and you have the means of distributing your album and like getting it out there. And one thing that you spoke about is getting your music licensed. I can speak to that. I'm a hip hop artist as well, and I've seen how like my music has been in like Dance Moms, Breaking Amish, Say Yes to That Dress, Curvy Brides, and that is a very smart move. I applaud you for that.
Thank you. It's the next level though, and congratulations to you. Those are great credentials.
So who would you say were your influences? I know that you mentioned in your biography, Dolly Parton, Loretta, Lynn. Who else? And you also said the Indigo Girls. Who else inspires you creatively?
Definitely. Well, as I said before, the country came later in my life. I grew up mostly on pop and folk. So you can, if you listen into some of the songs, I'm not necessarily based in country. I learned country later in life, and my first influences were definitely the Indigo Girls. Ani DeFranco was a huge influence on me, as well as like Nine Inch Nails. And I went through a nice big techno phase and then Guns N' Roses, and I grew up, I'm an 80s child. So, I grew up with all those like Madonna and all that great stuff. But in nowadays, I listen to, my girl crush right now is Tash Sultana. She's an indie chick. She's doing loop pedals, but she commands these rhythms, and she's just got this incredible sound, and she's just thrown down. And in the spirit of indies, like a lot of record labels, as I've heard, aren't picking up people until you pretty much make yourself, and then they go like, "Oh, okay, you're a guarantee. Let's go." So you really have to. I mean, you can't sit back in this day and age and go, people are, you have to go and make your own numbers. You have to go make your own way.
And that is true. I bought a book. I bought a book on social media marketing, and the guy said that labels aren't buying you; they're buying your fans. And I'm like, wow,
yeah,
they're buying your numbers.
That's wow, and that's true. And nobody will. I've had a hard time with the numbers just because it's all new to me. Like, how do you build Facebook fans? And I've got people that I can have the best, not the best, but I can have a good sounding album and all my stuff together. But if your numbers aren't there, they won't take a second glance.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah. But I believe also too is, and I'm learning with this, like the Deeper Than Music, I started this since May, and it's all about consistency. And it's all about planting the seeds. Like, each show that you have, there be somebody, and word of mouth is a beautiful thing too. Yeah. So, but I mean,
and
you're doing
building the speed, right?
Yeah, you're doing everything. And the fact that you know how to do it, you've seen it from a corporate. I mean, you have a leg up. Like I said, your website, it speaks to who you are. I was like, wow. So I have your song queued up, Life Without You. Can you give us the story behind this song and what it's about?
Sure. Life Without You is it's a nod to the storytelling of country, but it's that moment when you've about to break up with somebody and you go back to go like, so it's like rewinding the button and just going through a fast forward of all the beautiful memories of that relationship as it's leaving, basically. Like, then for the bridge it goes like, I'll walk around these memories till the stars are in the sky. It's just walking around beautiful memories as a relationship is coming to a close. So it's a gentle way of saying that.
Well, okay. So here we go. And you just got the story, and now we'll hear here on Deeper Than Music Radio, Ella Reid, Life Without You.
When it feels like the end and we can't communicate, you're annoyed by everything that I see. So I walk to the park and I stop to smell the roses, and I rest on the bench on the corner. There reminds me of you and me and our Valentine's Day, and we were so in love and the world far away. Why turn back time
That was Ella Reid, Life Without You, here on Deeper Than Music Radio. Yeah, definitely. That's a good song. What inspires you to create?
Everything. I can't blanket that one because it can be anything. It can be
Yeah.
something I see in a movie, or a line that I hear. It's not definitely not all based on my life. Because sometimes it's cool to be a voyeur and see, being able to take a look from somebody else's standpoint, from an outside standpoint looking in. So
You know
it
what,
could be anything.
you know what that reminds me of? Sometimes I just like to, I travel a lot, of course, working in the airline industry.
Yeah.
Sitting in the airport and just looking at people and just like wondering what their backstory is. Okay. Where are they
Right?
going? And also I wanted to ask, were you that type of person to like do a bunch of, cause you have a beautiful voice. It's like sing karaoke sometimes, or known as the karaoke person, or?
Not really. I've always been the songwriter in my room with a guitar. So actually it took a while for me. I had stage fright early on in my career. It took me a while to be able to really find my own presence. So even when I started performing, like for real, I'd shake uncontrollably, and it's even with the karaoke. So I've done a little bit of karaoke, but I started off writing songs like from 18, and it took till I really went full-time music to learn how to perform, how to be a performer, how to perform to an audience, and mix that all in and bring in the cover songs and such. So I really I learned on the job.
Okay, so it's OJT. Yeah, I actually, it's funny.
Yeah, right?
Because I remember my motivation was I did like a talent show. I had to be like 15, and it was horrible. The audition was horrible.
No.
And just because people knew me and were nice, the group that I was with, we didn't get the talent show, but it was horrible. And my motivation was, I'm going to work on this and I'm going to perfect this. Right. So I guess that leads to my next question. What has been your biggest challenge? Like, what was the biggest challenge to get you to where you are now?
I think belief and faith that I could do it. In my head, I've always been Britney Spears, Yeah. From a very early age, get in my mind, I'm Britney. Then I go, you're your own brand of crazy, and it's true. We all have it, but it's being able to just being able to find it in myself, and then to be able to go present myself on stage, like I mean it, like I want to, and I think that and getting over the initial narrative that was put into my brain that you shouldn't do that, you should just keep your day job, and that's that's not to the detriment of my family. That's a different age, but I heard that from very early on, and I too did the talent shows, and I just wanted to be a rock star, like I was singing in Vogue and Eurythmics for the talent shows when I was like 17 and 18, and that's what I loved it, and I was like, I wish I could do that, but yet there's narrative. So it's my biggest challenge has been turning off other people's opinions and turning on my own.
And I think, and you bring up a good point, and I think that it comes with age, because I find the older I get,
it does.
The less I care about what people think, and the more about, and like one of my motivations is, and I'm pretty sure it's yours as well, I tell people when it's all said and done, and when I'm at my deathbed, that I lived my life to the fullest, and everything that I thought that I wanted to achieve, win or fail, I did. So there's no regrets. I lived my life.
Regret is my scariest thing ever. I don't want to regret anything. That's my biggest fear, is that I will, exactly what you just said. That is my biggest fear, that I will go and say like, I could have tried harder. I really wanted to do this, but I didn't because I was afraid.
And it's interesting hearing your backstory, because your website, your presence is big. Here I am. This is who, suck it up, Buttercup. But it took a process to get there. And
it wasn't overnight for sure.
Yeah. And like a lot of people, we go with what's safe. And I think me personally, like you mentioned,
And
Guns
that's
N'
too
Roses.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. Like, I've always appreciated people that went against the grain. Like you
Yeah.
mentioned Guns N' Roses, they were big in your
Yeah.
face. Here we are. Slash. Who else is like that? Lenny Kravitz. Like you said, Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor. He went from being a
Yes.
janitor to
I
like
know.
being as
It's
big as he is.
amazing.
So
Yes. Yeah.
and then on the
You
flip,
have to do that.
yeah, you have to. And what has been your most rewarding moment in your career?
I think so far, it was probably one of our biggest shows last spring. We play the barbecue cook-off at the rodeo, and it was just a fun rock star moment. And I had the whole crowd singing "Do the Four Non Blondes" song, "What's Going On,"
Oh,
and I had
okay.
lighters up in the air, so I had like hundreds and hundreds of people just singing to me on stage, and I got goosebumps. I was like, "Oh, see, this is so cool." And what I've learned, and I'm so glad you mentioned age, because really, I've been scared, and I think, every 5 years I get a little bit more daring, and I give a little less shit about what other people think. And sorry, can I say that?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
Okay.
no worries. No worries.
I'm like, shoot, I swear like I say there. But it was so cool, and I realized at that moment, performing is not what I thought it was. Before, I thought it was me just on a stage, me just playing guitar, and people come to see you and see you perform. No. 95% of performing, I think, today is me engaging with the audience and bringing them into my world, and us creating this cool connection. And that was my moment. I was like, I got it.
Yeah,
And I still do that, whether I'm a solo doer or with a full band. I bring people in, and I love it when they sing along. And it's that connection. That's what is my biggest satisfaction. Like, I love songwriting in my house, but I gotta get up, bring that to other people.
exactly. And I think
And then the cycle is complete,
yeah, and I've always felt that a good musician is a person that connects to you. Like, it's all about the human level, and I feel that it's the universal language with my job. So I've been to like Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been to Bogota, Colombia.
Wow.
I've been like to Paris, and the one thing that amazes me is people listen to our music. Like, I tell people, when I was in Denmark, the only time I heard Danish music when I was in the lobby of the hotel. I actually joked to one of the cab drivers. They were playing, like, I was like, "Oh, you listen to the same garbage we listen to?" And I was just like laughing. It was some poppy,
funny.
like, I was like, "Wow." And like you said, it's all about making that connection. So I have your song queued up, and we talked about this song before because it led to Big Girl Pants. It's Suck It Up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
So do you want to like just re-expand on the story behind the song?
Yeah, absolutely. It started. It was actually one of the fastest songs I've written. It was a conversation that I had with a friend of mine, and I was complaining about my beautiful life, just like, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to do this, blah blah blah. And she just told me to suck it up, Buttercup. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So now is the time where I got to pull my big girl pants on and go get to work, because I got dreams to do. And I mean, and as we talked about, those dreams, if it's supposed to be for you, that will find a way to you, but you have to get up and go do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
But people still call me and go like, I didn't want to go to the gym today, so I put on your song. I didn't want to go to work today, so I'm singing Suck It Up, Buttercup.
That's going to be the Monday morning song, Suck It Up, Buttercup.
Yes. It affects people, so it's pretty neat.
All right, so here we go. Ella Reid, Suck It Up, Buttercup, here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
Drive to work, listen to those folks.
great song. There's an even greater story. Suck It Up, Buttercup by Ella Reid. I think I'm going to have to use that for my daughter when she doesn't want to do
Right?
something. Do a sound bite. No, that's like I said, that's the Monday morning anthem right there when you feel like, it's Monday. Could I just go back to bed?
It is. Yeah. Yes.
What would be your dream collaboration? Like, what artist or producer or songwriter would you just love to work with?
Wow. I think that's a loaded question. Well, I love Ella Reid. I think he's created some amazing, amazing artists. And as far as artist development, I would like to work with Ella Reid. Who else? That's a great, wow. I gotta work on that one. That's on my dream board. That was something that's on my dream board.
No, that's cool. I'm glad you thought of Ella Reid because I remember when they talked about with Pink when Pink auditioned, he's like, I was having a bad day, okay, whatever, and he was like, oh wow. Yeah.
He was incredible with her. I mean, he just helped her form her piece, and he's been an incredible, I think, in lots of artists' lives, and somebody like that, I would say. Yeah.
And then we also...
And I would love to record at Abbey Road.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. You know where Abbey Road is? The Beatles recorded there.
Yeah, that's definitely, wow. Yeah, I've never heard of Ella Reid, but yeah, Abbey Road, and that's a classic. Definitely a classic. I think somebody on Facebook recreated, but it was like during this, it was like a kind of like a comedy. It was during this time and age, like when they were walking down the street, right? That album cover, I see it in my head.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was like they were looking at their smartphones or something like that. It was something weird. It was kind of comedic. But
true.
Actually, you know what? Where was I? I was laughing because everybody was on their cell phones, and I was like, "Wow, this is pretty interesting."
Right? Nobody talks to each other anymore. It's just weird.
Speaking of that, how do you feel about being an artist and technology, the social media platforms, the ability to record at home and send it out to different distributors?
I think it puts we have all the tools. We don't have any excuses anymore.
Exactly.
Like, you can't go like, the studio won't take me. Like, I still go do my vocals at Ice Cream Factory Studios in Austin because he's got, far better equipment than I do. And he also he coaches me well. So there's a certain thing of knowing where to do your money. But, I do all my scratches in Logic and my MacBook laptop. You have no excuses if you want to go do it. You're going to find a way. And I think that's with anything. But there's, you can't, there's just no, you can't go like, oh, I can't do that. Like, you can actually. It's just a matter of, do you want to?
And what's funny? I tell people, like, I meet a lot of talented people, but you got to have that drive. And one of my favorite rappers, his name is Common. He has a saying in one of his songs. He's like, opportunity knocked, but he didn't call before he came. Like, you have to go. And like you said, there's no excuse. Like, I remember in the early 2000s, if I wanted to learn music or music theory, I had to go take a class or go to the library. And a lot of people are like, well, where did you learn how to do that? Google, YouTube. Like, the information is there. Like, you don't need a card catalog, and it's right at your hands.
Kids don't know these days. They don't know what we used to have to do.
Exactly. And then, like you said, like I was reading the social media, this marketing book. Okay, on Facebook, you send this at this time. Like somebody was like, you have to send like 3 posts. One about your music, one personal, and another one. It's like there's 3 types. And then like with Twitter, there's a certain day and time.
Puppy dog videos.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's it gets you out there, but there's a method to the madness. But I'm also a fan of privacy. And some tweets and some posts are like, some people, okay, I'm glad that you had a hamburger for lunch, but you know what I mean? So,
right? Who cares? When does
Yeah.
it become like nonsense, and when does it become entertainment?
Yeah. So
Fine line.
I
That's
have your
funny.
I have your song "You Better Run" queued up.
Ooh,
Can
yeah.
you give us?
Can I just tell you that was just played, got picked up by Home Depot. Like, I know, right? Totally
Oh, that's
random,
awesome.
but
That's awesome.
it's now playing in Home Depots everywhere. But it's my drummer's wife called my drummer and she says like, You Better Run's playing in Home Depot.
Wow, that's cool. That is cool.
And then I researched and I mean, random, right? Like, why? How would that? Anyway, but super fun song. And that one is not a personal experience. It's a watching outside in from somebody else's relationship. But like I said, that's sometimes really fun, and it plays into the kind of the country stereotype of that jealous woman,
Oh, okay.
But it's so fun. But it's fun, and like it doesn't matter. Like I don't have to be that person, but I enjoy it.
Like you said, it's one of those on the outside looking in type.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I am not the jealous woman, but it's fun to write and it's fun to sling on the stage too. It's fun.
So here we go. The Crazy Girlfriend song, "You Better Run,"
Woo!
here
Yeah.
on Deeper Than Music Radio.
That's right.
You think I'm crazy? Well, maybe I am. Well, the only reason I'm crazy, you're a crazier man. 'Cause you smiled at her for way too long. It ain't right. You got caught, now you're putting up a front. So I grab my tiara, my bow and arrow, chip on my shoulder. Damn, I don't aim well, so I grab my stilettos, run for the ammo. I got a feeling ain't gonna end well. You better run, 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 boy, you better run. You better run, you better run, you better run, you better run, you better run. I'm a little woman. You think I'm kidding? Well, you better think again. You should know better than to mess with an angry woman. Yeah, it ain't the first time. You know it ain't the last. You will think again next time you wanna take a pass. So I grab my tiara, my bow and arrow, chip on my shoulder. Damn, I don't aim well, so I grab my stilettos, rock for the ammo. I got a feeling ain't gonna end well. You better run, 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 boy, you better run. You better run, you better run, you better run, you better run, you better run. I'm a little woman. This is the last time. Don't try to kiss me, woo me, or please me. What I want you, well, maybe one last day and some more. So I grab my tiara, my bow and arrow, chip on my shoulder. Damn, I don't aim well, so I grab my stilettos, run for the ammo. I got a feeling ain't gonna end well. You better run, 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 boy, you better run. You better run, you better run, you better run, you better run, you better run. I'm a jealous woman. You better run, 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 boy, you better run. You better run, you better run, you better run, you better run, you better run. I'm a jealous woman.
What up, what up? This is Matt James, all the way from Canada. How's she going, eh? And you're listening to Furious on Deeper Than Music.
I love that song, "You Better Run." I love the description. When you say I don't aim well, so with the stilettos.
Right? I mean, I got a visual in my head. I saw the video first, and then I haven't done the video yet. I need to get on that. I saw the video in my head, and then I wrote the song around that, and it just tickled me what I saw in my head.
So
Just like a chick with like heels and like,
yeah,
very stereotypical Southern, but like it's just cracked me up with the guy running
yeah.
like that. Don't shoot.
So it all
I didn't mean it.
all of my great interviews, like it goes so fast. So we have like 5 minutes left,
What?
and then
Are we
we'll.
done? Oh,
Yeah,
no way.
so we but we'll definitely have we'll definitely have you on again, because I mean this is such a great interview.
Oh, thank you. That was so much fun. That flew. Wow.
And I mean even for take two. So before we close out with your song "I'm Right Here,"
Sure.
what does music mean to you, and what do you want your musical legacy to be when it's all said and done?
Ooh, big question. Big question. Wow. What do Okay, I know we got 3 minutes. Okay.
I'm sorry, I hit you with.
I'm like, I'm thinking too hard. What does music mean to me? That's tough. It's basically it's my soul.
Okay.
So like that's my vehicle of for my I mean, really, music is my everything. So everything that I cannot express in any other way comes through with music, and it's my connection to other people. I myself am. It may not seem like it, but I'm a very introverted, private person, and then I get on stage, so people don't believe me when I say that. So like, there's that difference between like it's the expression that I wish that I could present, and some things the depths of my soul that I can't show you.
Okay. And I see that.
Does that make sense? That's a little esoteric, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, because that means that your website, your stage presence is big, and that's what surprised me. Like
But I'm
when you
very
say
private.
stage fright, and I guess we can skip the other question. Shameless promotion. Where will you be? Where can people find your music? What's your next gig? Shameless promotion time, and we have 3 minutes.
Okay, got it. You can find everything that you need to know at Ella Reid, REID, music.com. And all my show dates are on there. Listen to my music. If you want to support me, the best way to help me out is to share my content, like my content, and follow my pages. YouTube, Instagram. All my handlebars are basically at Ella Reid Music. And I'd love to talk to you. Send me a message. I love to connect with other people. And yes, please stay in touch with me. And I'm on a 4-show binge this weekend. So I'll be on show 3 tonight. I'll be at Beachside Billy's in Valenti off of Lake Travis. The flooding has gone down.
Okay.
All good. The flooding was horrible, but we're okay. And I live over in that area too, so it's neat. And then I'm at the Oasis, which is in the same neighborhood right off of Lake Travis, at the Starlight Lounge on Sunday for a fundraising event. So that would be awesome. I love to give back when I can, and that's great. And definitely, if you have a chance, I got 2 new singles out that are one is for support, and all proceeds will go to childhood cancer, and the other one is to honor survivors of sexual assault, men and women, anyone. So check those out, and it's relatable. Everybody connects together. That's the vehicle of music, which is beautiful. And thank you so much for having me on this show.
Oh, not a problem.
I have my 1 minute left.
And we're adding your music to Music Monday, so they will be spending this Monday on Deeper Than Music Radio, Music Mondays. We got a minute,
thank you.
22 seconds, closing out with "I'm Right Here." So, any quick story on that, or should I just play it?
Now just roll it.
Okay, so we're just going to roll it. And that was Ella Reid, and you heard her music and the story behind her music. And Ella, thank you for being on. We'd love to have you on again, and just, like I said, keep us up on everything going. And we'll spin all your music every Monday, Music Mondays, here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to do it again. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, and have great shows. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See ya.
gave me your heart, now it's safe with me. I won't let it go, let it roll till you tell me. Then you gave me love, but I want